Oh baby, oh baby, you know what it is today. I've tried to dress up a little bit for the occasion, shave the tash and little goatee, get the hair done a little bit, as today. Welcome guys to the first of the Grimsby Town FIFA 21 Grimsby to Glory career mode, first episode in the Premier League, as we have made it. Yes, we have. I mean, it's a big spoiler if you haven't seen the last episode, but I'm pretty sure you should have now, as Semenyo also got Player of the Month last year. Whoa, that's a good sign, but I don't really care anymore about that treacherous league. I don't care about that league down below, as we have everything Premier League based today, apart from, of course, the, whatever it's called, the pre-season friendly things. It's Lille, Braga and Istanbul, so some good teams that we've got to play in there. And the Premier League, the first game is going to be against Palace, who also got promoted. Thought I'd show you that. I don't know if we're going to reach it today, maybe we do, and hopefully that's a big game, to be fair. If we want to stay up, which is the objective this year, I am not bothered about pushing on really, to be honest, at the start. So yeah, I want to get a result right there. As we move on to Southampton afterwards, had experience with them, Manchester United, and then West Ham. I'm pretty sure that West Ham went down at the end of the season. I don't know if it changes it. I don't know if it just tries to manipulate it, so they are always in the Premier League, so they're a big team. As I'm just going to forgive and forget, because I would like to play them this year. The first question today, John Weltdale, bring Doy back when you make it to the Premier League. Now that is a decent suggestion. I have looked at him, 84 rated now is Doige. He is a club legend, but he has got an 80 million release clause on him. We're going to get to our budget in a second, but that is definitely a lot. I'm going to say if we can afford him or not, but I'll just leave it. As Pandaman282 says next, if John Joe Shelby's still around, try and sign him. I tried to sign him last season, and I have tried to sign him again this season after seeing this comment, but unfortunately he is retiring. 77 rated at Real Betis is where he's going to take his retirement, so he's getting a bit of a retirement time in sunny Spain. Good for old Voldemort, as the question here is from Makarenko20, if I've got that right. Notice Palace lineup, they have Enzo Fernandez in the midfield. Really, really good, high potential, could do a job in the Prem. Yes, I would like to sign him, but then again, I think that's when we save till next episode, once we have played Palace for sure. And if we beat them and we go on good form, maybe he'll come to us. But of course, if Palace are above us, it would be kind of unrealistic to steal him if we start on bad form. So yeah, it is a rather confusing one, that. As here we go, starting it off with the budget. 88 million, that is a humongous fee for us. We had 50 million in the last season, so we must have been gifted. Or actually, I think we had 700 in the wage budget. So yeah, it's just shortened all that down and it's made it up to 88, which we are going to push forward as well. Give us about 200, so we've got 80 million roughly. So I think that is a great starting budget. I mean, if we do an Aston Villa, get loads of signings in, maybe we will survive. As for youth development, they want one player in a defensive position. We have already got 2 seasons, 2 players from the academy. In the brand exposure, they want a streak of 10 games with 1 goal. That may be difficult in this division. And 1 crucial player to midfield and forward. Definitely need to do that. No continental, of course, and they want us to just avoid relegation, which I think is a suitable, realistic target, which we need to try and do within 2 seasons mid-table, as reached the round of 16 stage in the FA Cup. I would like to get a run going, and it wants us to finish in a big profit margin. Now that is asking a lot. If you want us to stay up with 135 million spent, or not spent, sorry, made profit even, that's going to be hard, because we need to spend money to stay here. As we are going to skip on to the first day and see a lot of changes going into the squad right now. I don't know if the Sorescu money's come through, but I know he has left. I have transfer listed a couple of players, which you will see right now come through the, I think it's the interaction player chat, that's it. As I've transferred listed 2. I put Pollock on the loan list, which I said I would do last season. Must have took him off for some reason. Nelson is transfer listed, guarantee you games, and I think it is Austin, the goalkeeper. They are the 2 transfer listed. And as for players leaving, we've got the budget increase. McNamee goes out on loan to Heiderham. We've got Hammerleinen going to PSV. Brick's gone to Real Oviedo. Sorescu has left to go to Nottingham Forest, which is a bit of a shock. They're in the Championship again, so 82 rated, hanging around the Championship. They paid his release clause. I don't think it's realistic him going there, but they've paid what's necessary. And Atletico Mineiro have signed Gattuso Traore, who was decent when he came in the lineup. But now, we are in the Premier League. We want players better than that quality. As looking at the team, I definitely know where we need to strengthen. It's either left or right midfield, because Osborne can play on that right. He can play on the left as well. We've got Maloney, who's a good prospect coming through, you know. He could fit into the team, but then his stats don't reflect his position, I don't think. He's a right mid, 71 rated, but he hasn't got much pace, and his shooting and passing's a little bit off. We've got a definite good team. I mean, it was good enough last season in the Championship to be a Premier League club, as we've got some good players back as well. I mean, Vokins in the reserves is 75 rated. He's going to probably come on the bench at some point in the future, as Mola didn't do that great in his first season, but definitely the first position, or the most important, I don't know if it will be the first, I don't know where we strengthen first, is goalkeeper. Austin, I want to leave. Gretterson, he looks like a fantastic youth prospect, but won't be the starting keeper in the Premier League, I don't think so. Goalkeeper is priority. And, I mean, it's been a second for you, literally less than a second, but since the last time I spoke to you, I've spent like half an hour sitting, putting offers in. Well, not offers, but you know what I mean. Developing players, looking at them, scouting them. So, we've got everything nailed down for this season coming ahead of us. I think I've got a lot of players on that shortlist, which I am actually going to opt against showing you this season because I want to surprise you with some of the names. And yeah, let's get started and hopefully make signings after this game against Lille. I'm actually excited to see how our first team, as it stands, would fare against a big club, because I don't think it's good enough, but might as well test the waters. With Gretterson in goal, because he's going to be here in the long term. Stacey, Gehi, Ivan and Mola in the defence, last season's Championship defence, with Osborne, Hove, Dowell and Maloney, who's in the team because Ceresigio's gone, with Camponzano and Antonio Semenyo up front, hoping for a win in this first game, although I highly doubt it. Not bothered, like I say, about pre-season tournaments. It's just getting players up to fitness with scratch and getting them all done, and let's see how it is. We lose 2-1, which I think is still decent. Camponzano, but player with a brace wins the game for them, as Camponzano actually missed a penalty. We had chances, so I wouldn't call that bad. Braga actually, in fact, drawing the game, as Istanbul have a point as well. Only one transfer made so far, and I'm not going to lie, West Ham spending a lot of money. That is someone who was definitely on my radar to try and sign. Madueke from PSV. I was really looking into him. A right midfielder who actually looked really good, as I can't hide my list right there. I know I can't hide it because we've got to try and make signings. And the first one I want to make, Dan Smith from Defensa y Justicia. He's a regen, 22 years old, 75 rated. I don't know if he'll go into the first team, but I've literally just picked this guy out of a bunch. I know, of course, none of you suggest him because he's not real. He's not a real player, but he is one that definitely looks good to me. Can play on both wings. And I know we've got a lot of money, but I am going to reject that release clause. He's from a foreign country who usually accept it when you don't play the release clause. So let's try and get this guy, bring him back to Britain and try and get him signed, because I think 7 million is a steal. If we can get this guy, he can play on both wings. They want 10 though, which is above his clause, so I don't think that's acceptable at all. 8.2, we've got to avoid paying over 9, of course, because that his release clause is, as we are going to go for 9. Bang on, I think it's 9.2, so 9 should be accepted, but they're asking for 10. They are asking for 10. I can't accept 10 because it's not his release clause. I'll put the release clause in, 9.2. If they ask for more, then it's unrealistic, isn't it? No, I'm not paying that. That's gone a bit sideways, hasn't it? When I could just easily pay his release clause. Stupid game. So I've got to try and opt for another signing now. I'm looking at all these names. I won't say them all, but I'll just flick through them, as I think Patrick Bamford looks good. Wants a high wage, though. We need a goalkeeper, Mark Travis. But I think I'm going to go for a big marquee signing to start with. Yes, I've had him in my Arsenal save, I know, but I didn't use him to his full potential, hardly ever. I just bought him and wasted him. So Todd Campwell from Norwich, not promoted, was on my radar when he played excellently against us last time, so I want to try and sign this guy from the Canaries. It's going to cost around 30 million, which is a lot, but I think he's worth it. Might want to go to a bigger team, so I've got to try and steal him very, very quick. So I'll offer 26. No, I'll offer 22. I'm going to go a little bit lower to be sneaky. Will they accept that? They will negotiate it, though, so they're up to selling him. Of course, we have quite a bit of money to operate with. I'll go for 25. I mean, it will be a crucial player. Would really love to get this in. And they've accepted 25. I think that's a good deal for Todd Campwell. 25 million. It'll break us bank, definitely. This is a huge signing if this goes through. Absolutely tremendous. So we're going to try and make it happen. Going to offer him a crucial. Let's just go for it. It goes towards the objectives that the board have set by getting a midfielder in a crucial position. 4 years. Perfect for me. Love to keep him here. No release clause is even better. Accept that as well as a wage. 51 million. That's a lot for little Grimsby Town. I'm going to try and take him down to 31. He might get angry with that, but We can't just be paying him loads compared to the others. He still wants 51 million though. Oh, can we negotiate this? 35, signing on bonus of 1.5 million. That's a lot for signing on. Will they accept that? No, they want the signing bonus to stay higher, but they're not going to accept that. 45 is the highest I think I'm going to go for Todd Campwell, and he'll take it. Right, it's still miles higher than the other players, leaps and bounds above them, but we'll take Todd. That, my friends, my dear friends, is a huge signing for Grimsby Town. A statement of intent in the Premier League, goes to meet his old buddy Kieran Dowell in the midfield, and we're turning into Norwich a little bit, but look at that. Todd Campwell looks very fresh on that wing, very fresh indeed. Still not hearing anything on a goalkeeper, but that is massive. As he's straightened the team, it's the same team as last time. Yes, I'm not going to turn around to play youth. I want to play a team that probably could stand a chance of staying in this division, so I want to train them up, as that is a weird formation from Braga. 3-4-3, but very, very high up from the, I'm guessing they're not wing backs, I'm guessing the midfielders. So I'm going to quick sim this one. We should stand a chance, and we do. We get a win. Dowell with the goal. Jeez, that took a lot to get out of me. As Camponzano injured as well. Hopefully it's not a big one for the rest of the season. Even game. Fine margins, but we get the result. And it's on to Istanbul, who are bottom of the group. We might stand a chance at getting out of this, you know, which would be amazing. But Victor Camponzano out for 5 months is not amazing. The top scorer of the championship, the player of the season last year, will not be joining us for the first whole half of the Premier League season from a little injury in pre-season. That ain't good at all. Oh my days. Oh my days. That is heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking. How can we lose our best player for that amount of time when we've just got up to this league? And that is going to put a real damper on things. Loan deal here, loan to buy. It's not going to make me feel any better, as Wright does get his move away. And I need to show the academy. I mean, here it is, but I just can't believe what's just happened. I can't believe what's just happened, as Gabriel Lewis looks good and Gwillit looks really good as well, the Welshman. But of course I'm not going to promote them till they're probably ready and the ball is flowing in the Premier League. As Evans looks like a great keeper coming through as well, Ethan Evans. So I don't know about Cunningham, you know. He's 65 rated, but this guy looks like a good one as well. And Greterson and this guy, we don't want 3 amazing keepers. All the rest of them probably got something still to show in them because they're all in the 50 ratings. As I think now we need to sign a replacement striker. We can't go a whole season without Victor. So we do need a replacement, and I am drawn between these two. Armando Broja from Manchester City. Yeah, you might be thinking, why the heck have I put him on the list? He is transfer listed at Manchester City, so we might be able to get a good deal on a very high wage. And Fankati O'Hare, great player at Millwall, 20 years old, 77 rated. He's one for the future, as well as Harper, who's still at Watford in this Premier League. So I don't know if we'll be able to sign Harper straight away in this first window. But Fankati O'Hare, he's the one appealing to me. He's going to cost 20 million as well, which is a lot. So maybe we try and squeeze this guy out. I mean, we can get him on a low value, but then he might want a high wage, and fair's the other way around. So Broja, off we go to start off with. I mean, they are both higher rated than Camponzano as well. Maybe not O'Hare. I think Camponzano actually went to 78, but still, it's going to be hard to fit Victor maybe in the team if these get up and running. So I'm going to offer 17 million. They might walk away, but he is transfer listed. That's what I'm thinking. As no, they want 25. Pep, stop being greedy. He is not worth more than Todd Campwell by any means. As we'll go for bang on 20. I think that's a good evaluation for Amano. Will they accept that? No, they want a little bit more. And I don't want to be paying that little bit more. 19, I'm going to go down. That's going to be my final offer for sure. So hopefully they accept this. If they don't, I'll walk away. And yeah, I'm gone. Because I'm also kind of conscious that we need to save money for January. Because if we don't do well, of course, with the new signings in right now, and we leave ourselves with no money at the start of the year, we're going to be in a big rut. So we need to be very careful and shrewd with the spending. And speaking of shrewd, this guy, Phil Jones, being suggested. 33-year-old. Yes, I sign old centre-backs all the time, but this guy has Premier League experience more than any other player in the team. 33, 75 rated, so he's still kept his rating, and he's not going to play, probably, but nice to have him in. And a fun fact for anyone who doesn't know, yes, I'm a Grimsby Town fan, but I have this guy's signature on a big piece of paper, so I love that. So I want Matty Pollock in a swap deal. That is just not going to happen. Not going to happen at all. I will keep that 130 grand, should I say, and add an extra 2 million onto it. They want a sell and release clause. Okay, Phil Jones is probably not going to leave to go to anywhere, so we'll accept that. And he wants a rotational. That is perfect with me. Can go behind Ivan, can go behind Mark Gehi, but probably in front of Ben Mee, who really doesn't do well in the Championship. He might be out of the door. That was a mistake, really, buying him. Hopefully Phil Jones is not another mistake. Yes, he's a meme, really, in real life. He's a big meme, but still, I think he can do the job here. That is a high wage, though, Phil Jones, for someone who isn't going to play. 20 grand is probably the highest I'm going to go for you. If you don't accept that, you might not be at Grimsby Town, you know. You might not be at the Mariners. 1.1. No, I need to take the wage down as well. I'll take it to 24.5. If you don't accept that, you might not be through the door. And he does accept that, right? Welcome, Phil. Like I said at the start, I can see us getting these good deals off, but the wage budget playing a big deal to us. So we move on to Istanbul next. Transfer offer, though, for Pope. Brandon Pope. 25 million from Brighton. That's huge, but again, Brighton had a really good season last time out. We're going to do what Brighton did with Ben White, and we are going to reject the offer. I want him here. He's going to be the captain next year, Brandon. Lead us to glory. So, it's a big offer, but you're not a top 6 club, so bye-bye. Stay away, pesky Seagulls. As the next team, I've changed a little bit. Gretson in goal, Stacey, Mark Gehi, Ivan, and Vokins at the back. He looks like a decent rating this year. Todd Campwell, Macmillan, Pope, and Osborne at right midfield with Jeffcott and Semenyo. I wonder if that works, because Jeffcott has been good. He's been decent. I mean, he had a really blicked season last year. Like, Thanos snipped his fingers and he just disappeared. So, yeah, we want him to return this year and hopefully be better. So, we're going to play him against Istanbul. Up front with Antonio. And can we get a result here? We do. And it's Nelson off the bench to score. The transfer listed player. You never know. He could play his way into contention. Some players do that, don't they? They play really bad in the lower divisions. Then when they get to the top, they rise to the top. Like Josh Martin. He might be his next Josh Martin, you never know. I might keep on playing him and he stays here. He could be a really good player for us, Nelson, but I'm not going to gamble on it still. We've got Todd Campwell in front of him, Semenyo in front of him, Jeff got in front of him, so he's not going to start. And speaking of that, we've got a transfer offer right here for him. 5 million, Jaden Nelson from Nottingham Forest. I think that's a bit low, to be fair. 22-year-old, 74 rated. If we're getting offers of that level, I think I'm going to reject every single one of them. They've already touched the rescue as well, Nottingham Forest. What more do you want? And as we carry on with our business right here, going into this game against Valencia, they've got a top scorer, but look at that! Look at that spending. 102 million Aston Villa's spent on Ndombele. You can tell we're getting into the future here. Big money spent. Doku as well, going for 90 million to Leverkusen, with Madueke going to West Ham. And then Brewster's leaving as well. 50 million to Lazio. He was excellent against us in the Cup a couple of, was it months ago now? It might have been months ago. Eric Consus moved, who was a player I was actually looking into, to be fair. Damn. As we go into this big game, I'm going to be surprised if we get anything out of this, to be fair to you. This is a really difficult one. But then again, we did well with our youth players last time out, with Gretson in goal, Stacey, Gehi, Ivan, Vokins. Cantwell, Dowell's back in on the side of Cantwell. Hopefully we get the Norwich link up with Pope and Osborne, Jeffcott and Semenyo. This should be a very difficult game. But then again, it proves where we need to improve in this window if we don't get a result. Todd Campwell was a massive boost, as you could see, by losing the first game, then bringing him in and being fantastic. That's going to quick sim this one as well. Looks like they have Ben White in the defence. Can we get a result? No. Beaten 3-0. Humbled, really. Mayoral with 2, and I think that's Juan Foyth with 1. But then again, 2 good victories against 2 solid teams right there in Braga and Istanbul. I think we stand chance. A big chance of staying in this division next year. As we're looking at the teams here, it's going to get exciting. Wolves, West Ham, West Brom, Watford. Oh, I'm not going to name them all, to be fair to you. As who else got promoted? Well, Crystal Palace, yes. Crystal Palace, Fulham and us in the big league. Can't wait. Has got a loan offer here as well from Matty Pollock. Loan to buy from Frankfurt. I'm going to reject that. As, I don't know. I think I actually want to keep him a little bit. Just because he's Grimsby through and through, and I don't want to let Grimsby through and through players out of the club, really. So it's a difficult one for me. It's very difficult. It's difficult all window trying to decide who to buy, who to not, as we keep plodding along. And of course, I want to take you guys' suggestions on board, like I always do, and like I always tried to have done. But I'm cautious of money this year. I'm cautious of a goalkeeper. I'm cautious of everything. So I apologise if I'm not going exactly for the players you want. Like Doig, I would love to bring back, but 55 as the highest offer we're going to pay, and that release clause just puts me off for this season at least, as I think Ugbo looks good. He's been suggested before, maybe a backup for Campunzano, but then again we're doing okay up front. So the next one I would like to bring in is some foreign talent. Nicolas Capaldo. We need to pay his release clause actually. No, I'm not going to be doing that. So the next one is Dan Smith. I'm going to go back in for him. I think I'm going to pay his release clause this time because they should be accepting this straight away instead of 10.5 million. So, yeah, we've done that, and let's get to his wage. And 2 left midfielders may seem a bit weird to you guys, but this guy can play right midfield as well, and Osborne did not prove himself to be worthy of a starting place last season, I don't think. Not at all, so hopefully this guy can do. 5 years, perfect for me. I will accept that straight up. Release clause, none. Fine, as we'll accept that as well. Can we get a good wage for you though? Not over 20. We'll give you 20 bang on. I think that's good, to be fair, to a rotational. He wants 29 though. And I might have to go through and do the wages of all the rest of the team just to be a bit fairer. As I'll accept that, and welcome to the club. I've already forgot your name. Was it Dan Smith? James Smith? It was one of them. I don't care. He's a good player. That's what I care about. Him getting performances on the field. So Nelson might be back into them reserves, to be fair. And I don't know if he deserves it or warrants it, but he's just going to have to sit on that bench by the skin of his teeth. Another striker, I think, is the next thing I'm going to go for, to be fair. Maybe over 75 rated, but of course, still waiting to see a good goalkeeper. And we've got a transfer offer in for Jeffcott. Wouldn't have minded a loan offer, but a transfer one I don't think I'm willing to do. 25-year-old, bang in the middle. Maybe he could get into a prime around 77 rated in the future, so I don't really want to sell him, to be fair. He's been on the journey with us, and you might have just seen there, Brandon Austin is going to Rotherham. I think I've sold him for like 500k. Not decent money at all, but still, I just don't want him near the team. About 3 games for the club and conceded 2 in every one. So good riddance to him, I say. As an offer in for George Marsh, Rennes, I'm going to reject that. Don't think that's really realistic. Maybe Nelson could go to Italy, but I'm going to reject that as well. I want to find a perfect move for him if he is going to leave, and I want to get around 6 million out for him, because it doesn't look like 10 million was actually realistic at all, as I'm moving close to this Palace game as well, and I've only made like 2 signings. A little concerning, but I'm going to keep on moving. As there we go, Austin is out, Marsh and Nelson again. Montpellier for Nelson. I think it's time he just goes. I'm not going to hold him back, and money's actually not a problem. Just go. Just go, Nelson. Just go. But Marsh, on the other hand, Celta Vigo's a good offer, but I want you here. You were stupendously good when Jack Stacey was out, so I've got faith he can be a really good backup, or maybe even first choice in the future. And I think it's time to finally get that striker in, which I think we do actually need if Victor Campunzano is going to be out a while. So, Florian Balogun, he is an absolute great player. He's my go-to on Football Manager every single year for Grimsby Town or any club I am managing. So, he's been a hit in the Europa League, to be fair, for Arsenal, and I'm going to offer 8 million. He's 75 rated, 24, still some room to grow, and Arteta looks like he wants rid of him. Release clause of 15 million, they'll let him go for 8. That's a steal in my opinion, so we're going to definitely try and pursue this guy, get him into the club, as I'm going to offer him a rotational though. I'm not going to offer you an important, and he accepts that, right, that's good, because Campunzano might be straight back into the team, to be fair. And I've also realised, I think I'm saying his name wrong, it's Campuzano, as I want to get this guy in. I think I'm saying this guy's right, Florian Balogun, as we're going to offer 30 grand a week, which is a lot. He wants 40 grand a week. Ooh, that's a lot as well, so I'm going to, of course, do what I did with Phil Jones and do that. An extra signing on bonus, a lower wage, and he accepts that. Right, I think that's the method to go down. There is another striker. Goalkeeper still an issue for me, though. I'm looking at Travers. You can see my full list here, to be fair. I'm looking at Understall, a goalkeeper from Germany, 35-year-old. That's the only problem. I don't want another golden oldie, and Lopez is another one, 84 rated, but I see that as just really pushing the bar out in terms of realism, so it gets me. And I know what you're going to say, Grimsby Town, Premier League. I know that isn't realistic, but if you get where I'm coming from, like realism is in signings is a big thing for some YouTubers, including me, as Maloney. Loan offer from PSV, and to be fair, I really do rate him. 17-year-old, 71 rated, he's fantastic, but he isn't part of my plans in a season where we're going to scrap to stay up. So I think he's one who comes off the bench when you're winning, and PSV can have him because I don't think we're going to be winning much. Hopefully I'm wrong. As a loan offer for Semenyo. That is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. It's from a good club, but we really, really need him, as we've got some scout reports back from players you guys suggested at the start of today, as Egby looks alright, 70 rated at Southend. David Politique, or Dennis Politique, looks great. Enzo Fernandez, I think it depends on this first game. Oh, and it's happened. I just went into a menu to try and negotiate a loan, and it's happened. The graphics. The beautiful Premier League graphics at Grimsby Town. It looks so, so nice. As I'm still looking at players right here. Leeds United, in fact, got relegated. That must have been the team that swapped with West Ham. They were above them in the relegation fight, but I don't really see what can happen. I don't know if I missed a game out, but it looks like all 38 was played, so rather confusing, but I'll live with it. And we've spent quite a bit. To say we've made less signings, we've spent quite a bit, but then again, quality over quantity. Maybe the same thing can't be said about these videos, but let's just go for it. Crystal Palace first. They're in 6th, we're in 9th on alphabetical order, of course, as this was a tricky team. Of course, if you remember the last game of last season, or one of the last games, Semenyo with that beautiful goal to give us the win. And to be fair, it's a decent starting point. I know we still don't have a keeper in it. This team isn't up to scratch. Still got a month left of the window, but it's a team that were in our division last year and we finished above. Literally the best start I think we could have. And here we go. 7th place, Crystal Palace. I mean, the team must have already played, and we've got to make this team. It's going to be very difficult, to be fair. And I think I'm actually going to make a change already. Brandon Pope. I want you to be captain this year, mate, but I think Hove just played so good at the end of last season. I don't think he can really be in. We haven't got a keeper on the bench as well, so our literal only keeper is in the team. The bench has gone down a bit with Nelson leaving. Dan Smith is on it with Barry Leach. Now, he didn't really get a look in. Vokins is going to come onto the bench as well. Phil Jones has already gone down a rating. Okay, this is going a bit against me now. I don't really like it. As Balogun, I'm not going to start him because he's happy. Jeffcott isn't, so I might as well try and keep Jeffcott a little bit happy with Greterson in the goal. The only keeper at the club at the moment. Stacey, Gehi, Ivan and Mola in the defence, who's kind of unfit, even though I did play him in one of the pre-season games. Todd Campwell at left midfield. Dowell, Hove and Osborne as captain, which is going to change on the right, with Jeffcott and Antonio Semenyo actually leading the line as the prolific goal scorer right now, because we've got Campunzano out for a while. Don't like it, don't think it's our main squad, but we'll roll with it. And I know I said I wasn't really keen on signing him up. He's 2 years older than Evans and lower rated, but I think it's desperate times call for desperate measures at the moment. So I'm going to promote Damien Cunningham. He's been in the academy a long, long time. And to be fair, he's never moaned. He's never wanted to go to a different academy. So I appreciate and salute him for that. But it's only going to be a bench appearance and probably the only one of the season. Maybe third choice if he's lucky. And that relegates Jake Vokins, so it's a bit harsh. Played good through pre-season, but I'm going to go with a team that finished the championship season a little bit, apart from like Todd Campwell and a couple of signings. So, Crystal Palace away, which isn't really the best start, but still, we'll live with it. It's Showers at Selhurst Park. Premier League, here we come. Oh, and look at the graphics. I mean, there's none showing, but I can't wait to see that stand behind the team, as there it is a little bit. And the graphics, walking out players. Baltai, Nathan Ferguson, Jax, Franco and Tyreek Mitchell. In the defence with Buta, Riedewald, Fernandez and Eze on the wing, with Wooley and Abel Ruiz. Looks like they haven't changed up much apart from around the defence, I'd say. No, what's he called? I can't remember. Zaha, but I think that was already a given, wasn't it? I said he'd moved. Yeah, he has moved. As I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking too quick. Am I talking too quick? Abel Ruiz does start on the ball here, running at us. Gives it into Wooley. A little good skill move there from the Crystal Palace man. Boys, let's not try and be a bit too giving to them. Is that a corner? No, it's a goal kick. Right, 5 minutes in. I won't say that's shaky, but, I mean, we didn't really look convincing there in his defending. Just stood off a little bit as Mark Gehi. Oh, a bit of a dodgy pass. Boys, let's try and not be a bit more nervous if we can, please. And here we go. 5 minutes in. What's going to happen here? Abel Ruiz trying to make the run, and Ivan can read the fellow Spaniard as it's focusing on Eze as well. Now Hove on to Kieran Dow. Got to run on this wing from Todd Campwell. How's he going to do in a Town shirt? He's got a strap on his hand as well. As he cuts inside, can he take a shot from range? Not the best, Todd. And Abel Ruiz on the ball here again. Mark Gehi with a good interception. Now onto Ben Osborne in the middle to Hove, and another one to the side in Kieran Dowell. Now forward through the middle. Can we find that run on the right-hand side? It isn't where I want it, but Jeff could be in a foot race here with Tyree Mitchell, who does win it and gives it back to Altay, the goalkeeper. Looks like both teams are a bit nervous in the starting couple of minutes. And Wooley, oh, has a bit of a gap here. Oh, marvellous tackle from Mike Gehi. He deserves to be in the Premier League. I don't know how he was in League One with Swansea. However, the move is not gone. Good back heel into Jan Eireveld. Goes to the edge of the box into Enzo Fernandez. On to Abel Ruiz. And Crystal Palace take lead. Todd Campwell's injured as well. It's asking me to take him off. The new signing already injured. That is just a great start. And, of course, 1-0 down. Oh, dearie me. Dearie me. It's a good pass into the middle and another good pass. I don't know who it was. It was Ivan, I think. No, not Ivan. 13. Jack Stacey, who just does not track his man and leaves him there to put it past Gretterson, the inexperienced goalkeeper. As yet, it's 1-0 to Palace at Selhurst. It's like a scrap for survival already. And this is a blessing in disguise, this fixture. This was meant for us. It's the only team that finished below us in the Championship, so it should be a good one, but still not a great start at all, as Jeff now gives it on to Joanne Hove out wide to Osborne. Got the overlap from Jack Stacey. Can we score his first Premier League goal here into Semenyo? And a great save from the keeper. At least we're replying. Osborne now to whip one in. Semenyo rises again. Only as far as Dan Smith now on for Todd Campwell, as he needs to keep control of this ball rather well, and he does do as he gives it to Kieran Dowell as well. On to Joanne Hove. Good touch as a player injured as well, as Hove with his usual long shot not paying off. And Butak here with the ball in the last couple of minutes of this first half. 2-0 would be a disaster class as Enzo Fernandez going in on us there. Clinton Mola has to come across. It's a block. And it's a penalty. This game does not stop in the Premier League. VAR, where are you? Get it in this league, because that is terrible. Wooley and... oh, it was Mola. It was Mola with the handball. It wasn't even him who blocked the shot. It came back and ricocheted off the hand of the left back. And a really bad time to concede if we do. Abel Ruiz against Gretterson. Sends him the wrong way. Abel, who was second top scorer last year for Palace, behind Campanaro, is going to be top probably right now. It's a good penalty, but come on. Give me a friggin' break game! As Crystal Palace now take a 2-0 lead, it is not convincing here in our first game in the Premier League. Still, I think business to be done in the transfer market. I said these first couple of games will prove what we have to do in terms of signings, and it's definitely proving we have to make some right here. Is the final whistle going to go? Or the half-time whistle? There it is! 2-0 to Crystal Palace. Something needs to change. Something drastically needs to change, and I can think of one. Luke Jeffcott has not played well for me. He has not played well and he's up front. So, Florian Balogun from Arsenal, get your first start in a Grimsby Town shirt. He's going to come on for the striker and hopefully prove himself with a warm welcome to the fans. That is what is going to happen. Francio gives it now into Tyree Mitchell though. Crystal Palace starting with the ball as we give it away to him straight away. Wooley has a run on there. They chip it over the top to Eperetse Eze. I think it's the experience of being in the Premier League before for Crystal Palace that's doing us. I mean, that's my excuse. As Abel Ruiz gives it into Jan Eireveld. Need to try and get a tackle in there, and it's a good one. Hove now onto Antonio Semenyo. Can we get the runner, Florian? I mean, he's running straight at the defenders, but that's a good ball around the corner. Balogun could score straight on his debut, and does! We have a goal back straight away through Florian Balogun, who's just off the bench. The new number 10. Is he coming for Campuzano? I don't know, but that is a great run, that one. I thought he were running out to the left, but he comes back in, cuts in front of the defender, number 3, and slots it in that bottom corner. We are not dead and buried just yet. There's still a half of football to play, and that is our first Premier League goal, and Grimsby Town's first in history Premier League goal. Florian Balogun, literally 5 minutes into his first ever Grimsby Town performance, writes history for the Mariners, scoring the first ever top flight goal. But what will be even more historic is a first top flight win if we could try and come back somehow. Or just point. I mean, I don't really want to point against Crystal Palace, but I'd take it with the little problem that we've put ourselves in right now. However, that's a really good cutback. Joanne Hove now on it, looking for Balogun, and it just didn't deflect to him. A lot better in this second half already as Jack Stacey now goes for a ping through the middle. What a ping it is as well. Onto Balogun now. Turns. Gives it into Semenyo. Can we get another run around us? Florian Balogun with another one. He takes a touch. He pokes it. He's too close to the keeper. And the defender, Ferguson, was on top of his game to spot that one and stop it. But still, how fantastic is this football? It's absolutely great from us right here as it's into Kieran Dowell. Takes a long shot. And oh, it's hit the post behind the net. And Bebu now comes off the bench for Palace. I mean, he started on the wing last game. At least they've got the right players playing in the right positions, although it's sacrificed Bibu, and Enzo Fernandez on it now. Stacey steps in rather well, but Palace still on the ball. Good passing, and oh no. Gretterson, man. We do need a keeper in front of him. He cannot start in the Premier League. That is a huge mistake for the rookie, and Roy Hodgson's going to be delighted with it. We've been putting all the pressure on, and then something like that happens. Look at this. Into the middle, through, and... oh, that ain't good from our keeper. 3-1 to Palace. Hey, a lot of goals in the first game. I mean, I'm trying to look at the positives. We've scored, but we've leaked a lot. And the defence is our strongest positions. Maybe it is strikers where we need to try and get some more people putting it in the back of the net. But then again, our top scorer is out. And we could have two, you know. We could still have two. Semenyo goes to chip the keeper. Alte reads it. And oh, the defender's just clearing it off the line. What a shame again. As Abel Ruiz is through. Ivan tries to shove him. And it's 4 for Palace. Okay, we need to stop embarrassing ourselves now. Maybe some substitutions to be made, but against a team that we finished above last season who don't really look that much changed apart from the defence, should it be 4-1? No, not at all. It's an embarrassing start in the Premier League for the Mariners, but still, we need to kick on. It's inexperience in this division, it's inexperience in net, and it's 4 for Abel Ruiz. Can't be playing as loosely and as confidently as we did in the Championship, because we're not that Championship team. As Gretterson does well there to punch, at least he's got something to take from his Premier League debut, as the pressure's still on from Crystal Palace in the late stages. Hove with a good touch though onto Brandon Pope, who's now on the field. Now Semenyo, Balogun making a good run. Is he going to get there before the defender? He isn't. Franco having a decent game, and 3 minutes of added time. Alte to whack it up. It's been an embarrassing first day. That's a handball from the Palace player, surely. Nothing given, as Frank Bebu gives it in the middle now to Enzo Fernandez. He's turned. I mean, they carried on the run, and it's a good job the referee blowing the whistle, because we've been absolutely dominated. 4-1 against Crystal Palace. Not good, but we'll just have to move on. Heard my phone ringing. That'll probably be the hierarchy of the club if it's still John Fenty in this career. Probably want me out after that, and definitely want me out with the amount of money I've spent, but you can't hack it, as we have dropped to 20th place. After one game, though. After one game. Come on, give us a break. Because Southampton didn't win as well on their opening day. I think they played Manchester United. Chelsea didn't win. So we can't take any shame. Yes, the scoreline wasn't good, but a lot of big teams missing. As we have Southampton first next time. Manchester United, West Ham. Who do we have to after that? Arsenal. Brighton, who had a good season last time. Leicester, Fulham, Newcastle and Chelsea. Then Liverpool, Wolves in that month. It looks spread out. It looks spread out, which is decent for us. But then again, it might be even harder, you never know. We've just got to keep on going and plugging along, as Todd Campwell is out for 5 days. At least it's not a long one. Matty Pollock with a loan offer from Atlanta, and I think I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to go with it. He wasn't in the first team squad, was he? Phil Jones is on the bench for his XP, which it looks like we definitely need in the next couple of games as we go into a tricky run at the start of the season. Look at Abel Ruiz, already top scorer with 4. I can't believe we let him score that many. And work definitely to be done. I think I am actually going to leave half of the transfer window in the next episode, or deadline day should I say, towards the end. So we'll get the 3 games done in half of deadline day, then the next half for the one after that. So please, suggest some goalkeepers if you know any, but overall, any players who you can think of who are realistic for Grimsby Town. Maybe some Championship players who are good in the Championship, maybe some foreign players, which we haven't got many of in the team at the moment, who are pretty decent, because we need all the names we can get. As unfortunately, I'm going to end it here. I know only 3 signings, disappointing, but we've still got a lot of money and transfers to make in the next episode. Like, comment, share and subscribe with the notification bell on as well, so you do not miss this Premier League season with Grimsby Town, and I will hopefully see you all in the next one. Please do not leave after that big defeat, an embarrassing game, because I know, even though I think we might be favourites to go down, and I'm going to try my hardest to stop that, we can get some good wins and some big wins in this series. I have faith in it. So see you all in the next one. Have a good day. Enjoy school if you're back, or college, or uni, or work, and I will see you in the next episode in a bit, and peace.